The Dallas Cowboys find themselves in a precarious situation with star wide receiver George Pickens. With the franchise tag now in place, the team has taken a step to ensure they don't lose one of their most promising talents to free agency. But this move has opened the door to a host of complexities that could shape the upcoming season. Where are you watching from today? Join the conversation and let us know your thoughts on this unfolding drama. The Cowboys' decision to tag Pickens demonstrates their commitment to retaining a player who has shown flashes of brilliance. However, this comes with the looming specter of potential discord, as early indications suggest that Pickens may not be willing to play under the franchise tag if he doesn't secure a new deal. Reports have surfaced that the talented receiver is prepared to hold out, which only serves to stoke the fires of speculation surrounding his future in Dallas. In a candid revelation from Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones, it appears that the team has received no interest from other franchises regarding a potential trade for Pickens. This news is not just disappointing for fans, but raises questions about the wider market for a player of Pickens' caliber. While his talent is unquestionable, coming off what many would argue was the best season of his career, the reality is that teams may be hesitant to invest in a player with documented character issues. Pickens has undeniable skills on the field. His chemistry with Dak Prescott was palpable last season, and he has yet to hit his prime, which is a tantalizing prospect for any team. However, the baggage he carries cannot be ignored. The NFL is littered with examples of players who, despite their immense talent, have struggled to mature both on and off the field. The Cowboys have already committed significant financial resources to Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, with a combined $60 million locked in for the upcoming season. It's a tough spot for Dallas to be in, balancing the need for a dynamic receiver against the constraints of their salary cap. As it stands, Pickens may not have as much leverage as he might have hoped. With the NFL draft approaching and the deadline for a new deal looming on July 15th, time is of the essence. Other teams are likely focused on the wealth of talent available in the upcoming wide receiver class, which could further diminish Pickens' standing as a trade asset. The question remains, will the Cowboys and Pickens find common ground, or will this situation devolve into a standoff? If no other teams show interest, Pickens may be left with little choice but to don the franchise tag for the time being. It's a tense moment for the Cowboys and their fans, who must grapple with the uncertainty surrounding one of their key offensive weapons. Now, as we transition to our next topic, the ramifications of these decisions could ripple through the entire roster and impact the Cowboys' strategy moving forward. The stakes are high, and the drama is only just beginning. Dak Prescott is choosing to keep his head down, even as the swirling winds of George Pickens' contract situation loom over the Dallas Cowboys. The young wide receiver, who is coming off a breakout season, is now pushing for a deal that rightfully mirrors his rise into the elite tier of the league. However, while the negotiations remain unresolved and filled with tension, Prescott has been steadfast in maintaining his focus where it belongs, on the field and in preparation for the upcoming season. Speaking through the words of John Machota, Prescott kept his response both simple and measured. "Yeah, we were just working, no different than I have any offseason. Obviously, first real offseason of George being a part of it. And he showed up," Prescott stated. His words speak volumes about the camaraderie and respect he has for Pickens, emphasizing that the focus should be on the work they're putting in together rather than the distractions that come from contract talks. He has been active, and he has looked great. So super excited, leaving all those contract talks and that all to the front office. This is a message both to the fans and to his teammates. Prescott values Pickens' contributions on the field, but he isn't about to wade into the murky waters of contract negotiations. The situation is undeniably complex, especially considering Pickens' stunning performance last season. With 93 receptions for 1,429 yards and 9 touchdowns, he finished among the league leaders and earned well-deserved All-Pro honors. That level of production naturally drives his market value into the stratosphere, around the $30 million per year range, placing him in the company of the highest-paid wide receivers in the NFL. So what does the Cowboys organization do? For now, the franchise has placed a tag on him, a one-year deal worth roughly $27 million, which buys them some time while negotiations continue to unfold. However, let's not kid ourselves. The cap structure plays a significant role here. The Cowboys are already juggling multiple massive contracts, and committing long-term money to another receiver could severely strain an already top-heavy roster. The last thing we want is for the Cowboys to end up in a financial quagmire that hampers their ability to build a competitive team. The front office has until mid-July to finalize an extension, meaning both parties are operating within a narrow window to reach a long-term agreement. Until that happens, Prescott's approach reflects the reality of the locker room. Focus on the work at hand and let the business side handle itself. As we watch this situation develop, it's crucial for fans to stay engaged. Where are you watching from? And what are your thoughts on the Pickens contract saga? Do you think the Cowboys will come to an agreement? Or are we heading for a more complicated scenario? Your opinions matter, so let's hear them. Up next, we'll dive deeper into how this contract situation could impact the team's strategy moving forward. Stay tuned, because the Cowboys' journey is just heating up. The Dallas Cowboys, once the epitome of success in the NFL, are now grappling with the harsh reality of consecutive seasons spent on the sidelines of the playoffs. For a franchise drenched in history and expectation, 2 years without postseason action feels like an eternity. As we dissect the situation further, I encourage all Cowboys fans to chime in. Where are you watching from, and what are your thoughts on this challenging phase for our beloved team? In 2025, the Cowboys showcased one of the more potent offenses in the league, but it was their defense that faltered, serving as the primary anchor dragging the franchise down. The stark truth is that the Cowboys' inability to secure a playoff berth for the second straight year has raised alarm bells, leading analysts like Gary Davenport to place Dallas squarely in the crosshairs as a team under immense pressure heading into the 2026 NFL Draft. It's a familiar tune for the Cowboys, a franchise that annually declares itself a Super Bowl contender, yet hasn't seen the NFC Championship game in over 3 decades. Davenport highlights a critical statistic that can't be ignored. The Cowboys haven't won a playoff game since 2022, and they haven't managed to capture multiple victories in a single postseason since the mid-90s. This unfortunate reality leaves a significant portion of our fan base longing for the glory days, many of whom weren't even alive to witness a true playoff run. The weight of this history, combined with the current state of affairs, has created an environment where the urgency to succeed is palpable. Jerry Jones, the ever-passionate owner, has expressed a sense of urgency this offseason. The clock is ticking on Dak Prescott's prime years, and with each passing season, the window for a championship grows narrower. Reflecting on the Cowboys dynasty in the 1990s, it's clear that great draft picks were the backbone of their success. This year's draft offers a similar opportunity. The franchise needs to capitalize on it, specifically focusing on the defensive side of the ball. While the offensive roster is brimming with potential, the defensive unit is crying out for reinforcement. The recent coaching shakeup, with Matt Eberflus being replaced by Christian Parker, represents a step in the right direction. However, coaching changes alone won't fix the underlying talent deficiency. The Cowboys must identify and acquire players who fit Parker's system, and a need for upgrades is evident at every level of the defense. Edge rusher, linebacker, cornerback, and safety are all areas requiring immediate attention. With free agency not providing the solutions needed, the NFL Draft presents itself as the best avenue for the Cowboys to address these glaring deficiencies. The urgency is magnified by the fact that Dallas holds 2 first-round picks, a crucial advantage for a team desperate to turn things around. The first round is traditionally where teams can secure the most impactful players, and with the stakes so high, the Cowboys must make the most of these selections. While the idea of trading up from the number 12 pick is enticing, the safer route would be to stick and select at both spots, enhancing the chances of landing 2 immediate contributors. The absence of a second-round pick amplifies the pressure. The Cowboys won't be back on the clock until the 3rd round if they choose to stay put. Hitting on these first-round picks could very well dictate the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. The decision-making process for Jerry Jones and his team must be crystal clear. They cannot afford to take an offensive player with either of those picks. Such a misstep could spell disaster, potentially leading to another year devoid of playoff football. It's time for the Cowboys to embrace the urgency of their situation, focus on fortifying the defense, and finally break the playoff drought that has left fans yearning for a return to glory. As we conclude this in-depth analysis, I urge every Dallas Cowboys fan to reflect on our current standing and the importance of the upcoming draft. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe the Cowboys should prioritize? And if you haven't yet, subscribe for the latest news and insights as we navigate this pivotal moment in our franchise's history. The Cowboys' journey back to prominence starts here, and we need to be united in our support as we hope for brighter days ahead.